drones have been hacked, so I'm not going to ask you that. Tube light. Lighting equipment. Yes. How? No, this is a Philips normal tube light. So any security conference has not yet explored the idea of hacking lighting equipment. Set-top boxes, Tata Sky, Dish TV, can that be hacked? So all of this has been demonstrated at a security conference. I'm just putting a lighter note to the whole thing, which is that pretty much anything can be hacked, okay? As long as there is some element of technology, right? It may have some communication. I would not even say it's connected, because a car isn't really connected anywhere, but it has some elements of communication, right? The computers, onboard computers do have some element of communication. So as long as there is some touch point, it is potentially something that can be hacked. How about all of you in this room? CISOs. Can you be hacked? Are you potential targets of attack? You've already been attacked.
Hey, in the last chat, he said the last thing, Vivek said you're all in the threat.
Yeah. In general in life, but let's say in terms of digital security, can you be hacked? Are you potentially a target for an attacker? Huh? Please, I am in the same business. Let's be clear that we do deliver value. Okay, so we are potential targets of attack, right? How many of you know this guy, Matt Honan? How many of you have heard of this guy? Anybody's heard of this guy, Matt Honan? Anybody's heard of him? You at the back? Somebody said yes? Yes, he's a Wired journalist, exactly. So Matt Honan is a journalist and a blogger, and he got hacked. Okay, he got hacked so bad that his Mac was wiped out, his iPhone was wiped out, his iPad was wiped out, his Amazon account was owned, right? And the attack was very cute. I won't go into the details, but if you just search online, it was a very cool attack. They first searched for which email ID is his primary email ID. His primary email ID was a Apple email ID at me.com, right? Now, they discovered that Apple's password reset function, one is online, you do a password reset. Other is you call up Apple and say, I want to reset my password. Now, Apple asks a certain set of questions. One of the questions it asks is, what is the last 4 digits of the credit card that is registered on the Apple iTunes store? Okay. Now, the attackers figured out pretty much everything about Matt Honan. They figured out his, address, name, etc. But how do they figure out his credit card number, right? So they realized he also has an Amazon account. Right? Now, Amazon's password reset was even weaker. Okay? And so they didn't do that. First, they called up Amazon and they said they want to add an additional credit card to the account. So Amazon said, fine, you're not asking for a password reset. So Amazon said, what's your name, etc., and allowed them to add a random credit card number to that account of Matt Honan. And then they called up Amazon and they said, forgot password. So now Amazon said, yeah, but what's the credit card you have registered with us? Which answer they knew because they had just registered the card over there. And so now they managed to log into the Amazon account. The Amazon account, click on my profile, shows you the last 4 digits of the credit card number, exactly the information that Apple needs to reset the password. Okay? And Matt Honan's Apple account was taken over. From there, his Twitter account was taken over. Okay? Do you know why they attacked Matt Honan? He wasn't even famous. I mean, nobody had even much heard about him. Okay, people read about him. He was fairly popular. He had thousands of Twitter followers. But why did they hack Matt Honan, of all people? POC. No, for the POC, they hacked hacked the CEO of a company called Cloudflare. Okay, so in a similar way. Okay, so they attacked him. But why did they attack Matt Honan? They had a specific objective. His Twitter account had followers, decent followers, but his Twitter account was at Matt, M-A-T, not even M-A-T-T. So they just wanted that popular Twitter handle, that's all. That was their motivation to basically wipe out his digital life, right? So when you ask about value, that was the only value he brought to the table and he was hacked, okay? So now my question to you is, by the way, they caught him, he's a 15-year-old guy, his specialty is social engineering, that's all he does. And he specializes in owning what are called docs, DOX. Docs are essentially personal information about you, which I can then use to steal your identity. So he's been caught, he's in jail right now. Now my question is, you say you could be under attack, right? How many of you use Gmail as your personal email ID? How many of you use Gmail? I think most of us use Gmail, right? How many of you have turned on two-step verification for your personal Gmail accounts? Right, so there are fewer hands, which is like a dentist not brushing his teeth.
It doesn't really work.
Huh?
It doesn't work.
No, there are flaws, but it will not be as straightforward as owning your. And those of you who said they have two-step, as an auditor, I might just ask you whether you have the app which is needed for two-step verification on your phone. Anybody knows the name of the app? Google, not WhatsApp. Google Authenticator. Okay. So I'm just saying, what happens is that we get so involved in preaching and evangelizing security that we don't look at what we're doing ourselves and our team is up to. Okay, so this is one of the threats. I mean, if I had to go after Airtel, not Felix, I'd go after Pradeep over there, right? And then I'd go into Felix's account. Another threat that I think is going to emerge more and more is, the government is promoting, a lot of things are becoming technology enabled, right? We all know about Aadhaar. And a lot of your organizations are going to start offering Aadhaar-enabled services. Yeah, most banks, telcos will get into that, direct cash transfers. A lot of that is going to happen. Anybody knows what this photograph represents? An Aadhaar number was issued to Dhania. So here, an Aadhaar card was issued in the name of Mr. Kothmir, son of Mr. Pulao. In the address section, it was mentioned as Gongura Thota, which is the hibiscus flower, and Raw Mango Village, and a Aadhaar legitimate number was issued. Okay, so forget about biometrics, because obviously the person who did this said, I am blind and my hands are chopped off, right? So this is going to be another emerging threat. We're going to be dependent on a lot of this infrastructure. By the way, I support Aadhaar, okay, in theory. A lot of people bring it down and say it's not going to work and it's all silly, but so this is going to be another threat. I don't know how many of you heard of Bharat Broadband. How many of you have heard of this Bharat Broadband concept? Heard of Bharat Broadband? Anybody's heard of this? You seem to have heard of everything. Did you hear my talk? Couldn't have. I just put together slides this morning.
I just heard this.
Who?
Bharat Broadband.
Ha. What is Bharat Broadband?
About penetration into
Can you raise your hand? Ah, there you are. Right.
penetration into rural India, right? For
It's 2.5 lakh villages going to be connected on a 1 Mbps minimum connection. Right? So when we say, a good hockey player doesn't go where the puck is. He goes where the puck is going to be. So this is where connectivity is going to be in the country, where every village is going to be connected. So today your mobile banking application, which is used by a limited set of users, 3G, eventually is going to reach to the bottom of the pyramid, right? So that's also an emerging threat. And we're building stuff like this and not really figuring out things that could go wrong. Another aspect I think that does not get talked about a lot, because in India we never try, whenever something goes wrong, we actually don't follow the legal recourse. In some cases we follow the legal recourse and things do come out. Yes, when we talk about hacking, we talk about things getting stolen and data getting stolen and data being compromised. But what we don't talk about is the fact that time out. Kya baat kar rahe ho? Okay, anyway, I'm also done. So what we don't talk about is the fact that technology is actually being manipulated pretty badly in the country. Okay, and I'm sure most of you will know things that have happened in your own organization that people have made money, right, by manipulating your own applications, right? We've got cases of telcos, franchises doing fraud, right? Booking premium numbers, but changing a parameter, which we think we know how to do as ethical hackers because we'll use a client-side proxy, and that guy sitting in a store over there has changed a parameter which says premium number equal to no, but he's taken the cash from the customer and given him a premium number. It's a simple frauds. We've seen some examples of this. IRCTC, okay? One of the most maligned offerings on the internet, unfortunately. It's a good idea, there are issues with it, but they were hacked, right? Some guy wrote a simple software to book multiple tickets. IIT went offline, you know this, right? IIT went offline because people were committing a fraud. So people are using technology. The more we are reaching out to them, they are also manipulating that very same technology to cause financial loss. PG medical seats allotment turned upside down. The least deserving candidates now at the top of the list. This is this year. And finally, I think just some thoughts I want to leave you with. There's a lot of this fraud that is not emerging out there, right? A lot of our applications are actually getting misused and people are making money of it. Some of this news comes out, most of it does not. But this is, I think, a very major risk because we are reaching out there, we are technology enabling, you know, Amitabh Bachchan saying buy an insurance policy on your iPad, etc., etc. These are all huge risks. Denial of service, I think Felix has spoken about. Bharat Broadband, keep that in mind, that's coming. I think Kerala is already online. Couple of major states are already online. So it's picking up progress. Sam Pitroda is running that, so it's almost guaranteed to succeed. And I mean that sincerely, I don't mean it as a joke. Mobile devices, of course, and critical national infrastructure protection. I think whoever is there is already bearing the brunt of it, so I need not speak more, but just to leave some thoughts over there. So, actually, I wanted to keep it very short because I want you to have time to pick the brains of the panelists here and just leave you with some thoughts. So that's it. Thank you very much.